Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Welcome to Daksdakan Episode 3. Topic natin today is dashboard workflows or dashboard design workflows. So thank you for bearing with me to those in the Teams chat. Alam niyo ano nangyari. So nate-train na ako, don't worry, na every time pala nag-set up ako ng OBS, kailangan nire-reselect ko yung camera or kung alin yung camera na gagamitin niya. So again, thank you for joining. Magsisimula tayo as usual with a couple of Canva slides or a few Canva slides. So, episode 3. About us ulit tayo. For those who are new here, we are Power BI Pilipinas is an online community of 10,000 plus Microsoft Power BI enthusiasts in the Philippines, and we are all over the web. You can scan the QR code to join our other social media platforms, but we are basically on Facebook. Nandun yung main platform natin. Nandun yung 10K members. We are also in the Microsoft Fabric community. I'll highlight that in a bit later. We're on LinkedIn as a page and as a group. I'll highlight that a bit later as well. We also have a Discord server. We have a YouTube channel, TikTok channel, and we have a Spotify podcast, or actually a Spotify video podcast. So, sabi ko nga, all over the web. This is, what we're doing now is live via Facebook, where we are on Teams, on a Teams call or on a Teams meeting. Pero we are going to upload to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube afterwards. So, ano nga ba yung Daksdakan, or what is Daksdakan for if we have any foreign friends that joined? Dakdak is a Filipino verb which means to talk nonstop. And Daksdakan is a fortnightly meeting with other Power BI Pilipinas members, hopefully to talk amongst ourselves. Language is in Filipino English, and topics may include Power BI updates, best practices, features, industry applications, AMAs, etc. And as I've said, Teams, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. And today is a special episode kasi this is the first episode where we are taking into account member feedback as to what the topic is. So, yung mga I think earlier last week, I sent out a survey to ask what topic would you like to discuss. And this one, or actually meron pang isang nanalo pero parang masyadong vague and hindi ko siya makikerry. So, feeling ko itong topic na to, which is what is your workflow in designing dashboards, is pretty general enough for the madlang public Power BIists to either listen into or to contribute. So again, this is an open discussion. Feel free to go off mute. And sanay na ako sa inyo. I know maraming super shy. So feel free to chat as well. Oo nga pala. So that said, I'll be taking a peek at our Facebook live chat and our Teams chat. Saan ba yung chat na to? Ayan. So ayan. I'll take a look at it as well. And Power BI Pinas updates. Eto na. So thank you very much for everyone who joined our Microsoft Fabric community. We were at 174 roughly a month ago. Ang alam ko, nanghingi ako ng tulong parang around September 16, mga ganon, September 18. We are at October 20, and that 174 has been pushed to 262. Dati, 14th place tayo. We are now at the 10th place. Globally to, of all Power BI groups under the Microsoft official communities in the world. We are 10th place as far as number of members. So the goal is to push to 9th place, to push into 9th place or higher. Basically, we are at a point na yung 262 natin, we need to bring it up above 300. Nandoon na yung mga 10th placers pataas eh. Or nandoon na yung mga yun nga, mas matataas na members. So, I know we can do it. 10,000 tayo sa FB. Recently ko lang kasi inano to, kumbaga tinutukan. So, yun. Thank you again to everyone who joined, and let's aim for, let's continue, kumbaga, being active with that then. Kasi as I've said, Microsoft has more visibility with that platform. And we also have a new LinkedIn page. Help! We have 30 followers on that. So, yun lang. If you're on LinkedIn, give the page a follow. Again, I'll show the tap link QR code naman again later for the our social media pages. So, if you're on LinkedIn, please give us a follow. Power BI Desktop October 2023 has been released last week. Parang October 11 siya ni-release. If we have time, we can go through it. Medyo depende. I'm not sure. Again, this is medyo a special episode since wala akong pinrepare na guests. So everything's gonna be public. If we have people who participate with the discussion, then all well. Baka wala tayong time to discuss the Power BI Desktop October 2023 edition. Pero if medyo crickets, crook, then maybe we'll have time. Power BI Pinas Meetup. Good news is we might have a venue. May contact na ako sa Microsoft and we are looking at Microsoft's One Ayala office for a possible meetup. Medyo marami pang kailangan ayusin. So, not sure kung aabot this year. Maybe, maybe not. Pero yon, we'll see. Basta, ang deal ko naman sa kanya is if magkaroon ng reservation, we need at least 1 month to make sure everyone knows about it, fix the schedules, mga ganun. And Power BI Pilipinas Challenge, yun nga, this is supposedly a challenge for creating Power BI reports. As of now, very in the works. We'll get back to it once we have the bandwidth to actually set mechanics up. Maybe look for sponsors, ganun. And naharangan ko pala to. I'll put that here. Actually, I'll put everything on the other screen. Yan. And lastly, call for presenters. I know we are kind of a cozy crowd. So, and if you have something that you want to present, whether meron kayong ipe-present rin naman sa office ninyo at gusto ninyong ay, nalimutan ko pala. Sorry, hindi pala ako nag-share ng screen sa OBS kanina pa. Sorry. Let me switch. Masasanay din ako dito. Ang dami ko kasing screen. Sorry. I mean, marami akong screen sa OBS. So, yun. Nag-share na ako sa OBS, Power BI Pinas Updates. Call for presenters if you have something that you want to share na either may presentation kayo sa office, gusto nyo mag-practice na rin, or meron lang kayong gustong itanong sa community, that also works actually. Pwede natin pag-usapan ng problema nyo. Hopefully, Power BI related yung problema, syempre. And yun, just reach out to any of my social media channels. Again, nasa tap link QR code, at which I will show at least 3 times this presentation. So, topic proper tayo, dashboard design workflows. So, when I saw this topic, naisip ko yun nga, kumbaga, ano nga ba yung workflow ko when I have clients with dashboard requests. So, ang setup ko nga pala ngayon, I currently work as a senior manager in TTech Digital, specific to the DataViz team. So, may mga tao ako, pero at the same time, I still create dashboards myself. I still, kumbaga, hindi ako yung totally managerial lang. So, I still do get my hands dirty and build dashboards myself. Now, medyo may mga slight differences kasi depende sa client kung paano yung design ng dashboard. May mga clients na mas relax kami, mas chill lang. So, ano yung kailangan mo? Meeting lang kagad. Tapos, usap-usap. Tapos, build. Meron rin mga clients na mas maselan. Kami at sila. So, dahil alam naming maselan sila, medyo maselan rin kami. And we document everything. May mga business requirements documents wherein nakalista lahat ng mga, pretty much a data dictionary. Nakalista ano yung mga columns na available sa dataset. Nakalista kung paano i-compute yung mga metrics. Nakalista ano yung objective ng dashboard. Nakalista kung ano yung range ng dashboard. Yung mga ganun. Pretty much scope and limitations work kasi there will be clients na, kumbaga, padami yung features na hinihingi as time goes on, and mas ano rin, kumbaga mas mahirap bantayan, or mas nakakapagod gawan ng report kasi nga nag-iiba-iba yung requirement. Checking. Okay. I think naghang yung webcam ko dun sa isa. Sorry. Ay, wait. Let me check my FB. Kung naghang na. Yup, naghang na nga. Again, minor ano tayo. Which is kaya kong ayusin na, I think. Yeah, okay. Alam ko na ayusin. So, si OBS ko pala ay every time nag-switch ako na, or nag-on ako ng OBS, kailangan kong i-reselect yung webcam. For some reason. Sorry about that. So, pero okay na tayo. Yun lang naman yung dalawang screens ko na may webcam eh. So, punta na tayo sa actual discussion. Punta ako dito. Punta ako sa... Ang gusto kong ipakita actually regarding designing dashboards. Where's my browser? Ito pala yung browser. Is two websites. One is mockup.ai and the other is Penpot. So, ano sila? Si mockup.ai, dashboard mockup siya. Teka, nasira yung website. Refresh ko lang. Refresh ulit. Medyo hindi pa yata maganda yung timing ng pag-visit ng site. Normally, mas maganda yung site nila. Hindi ganito kabasag. Medyo basag-basag ngayon. Try natin mag-login. Sadly, sakto nga kanina medyo nagloloko yung site nila. Yup. Extremely unfortunate timing. Nagloloko yung site nila for some reason ngayon. You know what? Let me try a different browser. Baka nasa browser ko lang. Again, that's mockup.ai. Pero i-Bing search ko na lang. Tama naman. And oo, sira yung site nila. Number 5 product of the day pa naman sila. Pero yun, nasira yung ano nila. Down yung website nila ngayon. Try. One last try. Anyway, I'll paste this in chat and I'll paste this in the YouTube description as well. Mali. That's not chat. Sad. Good morning pala, Sir JP. Sir, napansin ko lang po pag more deducts code yung Power BI, sobrang bigat. Mas okay pa. Okay. Sure. Sagutin natin yung mga tanong ha. So for anyone who has questions, medyo tayo ngayon eh. Maluwag tayo ngayon kasi wala nga tayong presenter. Feel free to post your questions in chat. Medyo pwede tayo magkaroon ng AMA. Sabay na natin. Teka, ano bang gusto kong gawin? Sorry. Yan, lagay ko na yan dito. Para medyo nasisilip-silip ko yung chat. Yan, on the side. Try ulit. Ay, hindi. Sorry. Mockup.ai. Try ulit natin. And did I paste it? Okay. One last. Pasilip ng edge ko. Wala talaga. Sorry, guys. Pero, hindi. Alam ko na. Tignan na lang natin kung merong mga lumang image results si mockup.ai. Kasi naman. Sige na nga. Pwede na. So, si mockup.ai kasi, ang pinaka-bentahe niya, pinaka-perk, or kumbaga, pinaka-pro niya na nakita ko is, it's a website that lists down specific industries. Meron ka talagang dashboard, or kumbaga meron silang templates na ginawa for a sales dashboard, meron silang ginawa for a customer satisfaction dashboard, meron silang for an technical inbound call center dashboard, mga ganon. So, kumbaga, as in, specific. Sadly, hindi ko nga ma-demo. Hindi ko alam na magda-down ang site nila exactly. Kung kailan tayo magkakaroon ng daksdakan. And malalabo for some reason yung mga... Or is it my internet though? Can anyone check? Napupuntahan nyo ba yung mockup.ai? Ako lang bang may problema? Pero yun, kasi for some reason ang weird. Ayan, okay. Akala ko pati lahat ng mga images ko naging 240p. Anyway, so ang pinakabentahe nga niya yon. Meron kang mga templates, may mga reports ka for Actually any platform naman, whether you're on Power BI, you're on Excel, pero it offers, kumbaga, meron na siyang mga default na mga metrics, meron na siyang default na mga how would you want to show them. So itong nakikita nyo sa right side ng image na to, palakihin ko konti. Ayan, itong nakikita nyo sa right side, yan mismo nakaabang na yan sa website. So pwede nyong gamitin as is. Very, very helpful. Teka, balik ako dun sa very, very helpful. And may way ka, and yun nga, for if you're looking for a specific industry, specific dashboard type, may sort of inspiration na may makikita ka. Of course, downside is, lahat ng mockup.ai templates, ganito yung color scheme, ganito yung look overall. Kumbaga parang shades of blue or shades of indigo ba yan? Parang ganyan. So, medyo, kumbaga, as far as style is concerned, medyo bland. Pero, extremely usable, extremely, kumbaga, practical dashboards. And, yun nga, yung pinakamalaking tulong talaga is meron kang customer summary na hinahanap, meron kang specific. I'm so sad na hindi ko mapakita sa inyo as is. One last try. Actually, since naload naman niya kahit paano to, meron bang login? Maka-login ba ako o wasak? Ay, hindi. Ito pala yung wasak kanina. Yung naglo-looping siya. Pricing? Makakapunta ba tayo? Wala na. Ayoko na. Pero anyway, if nag-load, wala rin ako mapakita dito. Lahat ng mga ano nila, nawawala. Pero essentially yun. It's really a site for you to check out different layouts and different metrics, which tend to be difficult if wala kayong kumbaga masyadong reference and first time nyo gagawa. Now the other site that I want to show in terms of kumbaga part of yung dashboard design workflow ko. And nasa ano pa lang tayo, nasa stage tayo of wireframing na. Medyo tumalon ako konti. Pero kumbaga, ito yung mga wireframing tools na gamit ko. Hindi ko pala nabanggit yung kanina, sorry. Is Penpot. So, you may have heard of Figma, which is yung paid, yung mas sikat na paid version, kumbaga, ng Penpot. So, Figma is pretty much maraming nagagawa si Figma eh. Medyo parang ano siya graphical tool siya na may mga templates ganon. Really popular in terms of building wireframes, not just for reports pero wireframes. Maganda yung website ng Penpot actually. Wireframes for websites, wireframes for apps, kumbaga UI UX design. Medyo napupunta na tayo sa realm na yon. So, ang advantage ni Penpot, ni Figma, kasi ano yan eh, it's either you use a pen and pencil nga, di ba, sa pag-wireframe. Others would use PowerPoint. Others would jump into Power BI, gagawa directly. So si pen and pencil, yon slightly unprofessional konti. Although yung nga, it's a lot of people swear by it. It's one of the best, one of the most, kumbaga, agile ways to create wireframes for your dashboards, di ba? Gusto kong drawing akong pie chart dito, drawing akong bar chart dito, yung mga ganon. It's still one of the most creative ways you can go about it. Pero kumbaga, if gusto nyo na mas presentable konti, parang si Penpot or Figma yung next kasi you have parang templates for dashboard parts and pieces that you can use. Tapos, number 3, as far as complexity is concerned, saka lang papasok sina PowerPoint. Sina PowerPoint kasi medyo madali rin, pero mas madali sina Figma. Pero kumbaga, yung paghagis-hagis mo ng images kay PowerPoint, tapos tada, ito na yung dashboard natin, wireframe, kumbaga medyo halos same level sila of complexity. Tapos, fourth, yung pinaka-komplikadong wireframe na magagawa mo, of course, is via Power BI. Kasi para makagawa ka ng wireframe sa Power BI, hindi ka lang nagdo-drawing, gumagawa ka na ng actual sample data inside eh. Mas maganda, syempre, pero kumbaga, for other people, iba pa yung wireframe na graphical lang, like yung mga Power BI lang, hand-drawn lang, as compared sa wireframe with Power BI. Nasa ibang stage pa yon. So, depende rin sa organization nyo actually, kung paano yung style. So, login tayo para makita nyo yung laman. At least ito gumagana. Ayan. So, I'll try na wag magbukas ng hindi ko dapat binubuksan na wireframe. Dito na lang tayo. Sige. Okay lang naman. So, kunwari buksan natin to. Ano naman to lahat? Dummy data naman lahat to eh. So, and dummy everything. So, kumbaga, ito hindi na wireframe to, sorry. So, with Penpot, ang format niya is, meron kayong mga, parang mga boards, meron kayong mga rectangle places that you can build or that you can spawn, kumbaga. So, ito yung mga yan. May mga boards kayo, you can start creating a board, and then yung board mo can have a specific, ang tawag dito, can have a specific dimension. Pwedeng 1280 by 720. Hindi ko siya maklik for some reason. Ayun. Pwedeng 1280 by 720. Pwedeng certain, hindi ko gusto yung nangyari doon. Nasama niyo yung akyat. Yan. Para empty space. Ayan. So, kumbaga, pwede kayong gumawa ng, kung ang gusto nyo is normal na Power BI report, which is landscape, which is 1280 by 720, yung 16 by 9. So, you can start with that. Andito yung mga size presets. Tapos, you can throw in mga shapes, rectangles, or pictures. Ito, picture na to talaga eh. Pero, kumbaga, this is a picture of a customer sat report that I kinda liked on the web. So, wala. Pinrint screen ko, nilagay ko dyan. Ito yung mga time na pinaglalaroan ko pa tong Penpot. Tapos, Penpot also has, and Figma, yun, for that matter. They have assets or components that you can save para kunwari, ang mga assets, components ng Penpot, meron siyang mga default na galing na sa kanila. Kumbaga, galing sa, can I go here? Saan ba yung, ito, Penpot design system na lang kunwari. Ito yung malaki 228 components yan eh. So, close ko yan. Close ko muna to. Ito. Punta muna tayo dito sa Penpot design system. So, if you notice, meron kayong mga parang, parang ready na mga stuff that you can use or bits and pieces of graphical interface that you can use. May mga plus, may mga pang-expand, collapse, may mga buttons like that. Na lahat yan, syempre, na napapaliit, napapalaki yan. May mga buttons, may mga ganito pa sila, parang comment, samples, and again, screens or print screens, may lang yung mga yan. So, kumbaga, you can throw in a lot of pre-created components para sa mga dashboard nyo, especially if meron kayong certain client na madalas nyong katrabaho, meron na kayong mga certain color schemes, color palette nila, ganyan, madali pag naka-Penpot ka. So, in my case, pansin nyo kasi, ang wala dito sa mga default na components, or I don't know, maybe hindi ko nahanap. May slider pa siya, yan. Ang wala dito is yung mga charts. Kumbaga, medyo siya, heavily GUI siya, pang graphical user interface na mga apps or pang website, yung mga pinagpo-provide ng Penpot dito. Yan, may mga ganyan. So, ang ginawa ko was, nag-create ako ng sarili kong set. So, I have a Power BI kit na etong mga components ko dito was custom creation yung mga yan. So, as in, nag-spend ako ng time. Gumawa ako ng rectangle, line, ganyan. Gumawa ako ng mukhang card ng Power BI, ganyan. Metric name 100. Na itong metric name na to, kunwari, gusto kong maglagay ng cards dito sa upper right corner. Pwede kong i-copy, paste, ganyan. Papakita ko sa client. Tapos, pangatlo. Tapos, of course, the metric name is something that you can edit on the spot. I think. I hope. Yeah, I do. I can yan. Layers ba? Yeah, ito. Si card 1. Tapos, select ko lang yung text. Hindi pala yan. Ito, itong text yan. Tapos, pag na-select ko na, pwede ko nang sabihin overall satisfaction. Yan, mga ganyan. So, kumaga yan. Pretty dynamic and it really, it shines once you actually spend the time or invest the time in terms of building what you want to build. Meron pa akong ganito na parang half donut. Hindi ko alam bakit ko ginawa to. Meron akong full donut. Meron akong maps. Yan. Kung gusto kong ipakita na dito sa part na to, magkakaroon kayo ng mapa. Dito sa part na to, magkakaroon kayo ng stacked column chart. And syempre, favorite ng lahat, yan, magkakaroon kayo ng matrix dito. Ang weird na, pero whatever. So, yan, ganyan. So, again, bato-bato lang. Tapos, syempre, pwede mo nang isama na, malagyan natin ng logo, yung company logo ninyo. Oops, malaki. Pero, yan, pwede natin lagyan ng company logo. Kunwari na lang sa gitna kasi naubusan na ako ng space. Pero kumbaga, the agility, di ba? Of you creating a new, ang dami pa palang space dito eh. So yun, the agility of yun, wireframing certain requests, certain dashboards, really, yun, it really helps a lot. Now, bakit ba ako naka-Penpot? Bakit hindi nga ako dun sa mas sikat na Figma? Kasi libre si Penpot, yun lang yung rason ko. Figma still is, kumbaga, as far as resources, pwede kayo mag-search sa Google Figma dashboard design, Figma reports, mga ganon. So, ang dami. A lot of people use Figma in their workflows. Tapos, pretty much naman kung ano yung nagagawa ng tao sa Figma, nagagawa rin sa Penpot, albeit slightly worse, very, very slightly lang worse. Pero kumbaga, nandyan yung mga features na kailangan ko na hindi ko iniisip na, hala, may bayad yung certain features. Wala akong iniisip na ganon. And yun, some people would use Canva, I guess. So yun, medyo may ganong vibe rin. Si Canva, it would also make it more powerful if you spend time, di ba? Nag-add kayo ng mga components or kung ano man yung tawag sa Canva assets ba? Basta yun. Kumbaga yung mga custom na mga ina-upload nyo rin. So, si Figma, si Penpot, marami silang parts and pieces. So, may mga rectangles that you can build. Tapos lahat yan nag-i-snap. May mga oval or circle. Yun nga, hold shift para mag-circle. So, marami kang pwedeng gawin through basic shapes lang. Tapos boboin mo sila magiging graphical na. And you have your wireframe. So, and again, from that point, once you have your wireframe, once you have discussed your BRD man yan, tapos nasa wireframing stage ka na, again, some people would have 2 wireframing stages. Isang rough draft stage, isang actual wireframe where you have Power BI and sample data in it. Tapos some clients after that would start na with yung data side, marami pang differences ulit yon. Some clients would have you as everything di ba? Kumbaga, medyo maliit yung kumpanya ninyo. Hindi na pala client, pero company na. Kumbaga, kung nasaan kayo hired ngayon, pwedeng kayo na lahat. Ikaw na yung data viz, ikaw yung data engineering, ikaw yung data analysis, pasan mo lahat kasi maliit lang yung company, all-in-one ka. Meron rin namang companies na other extreme. May data viz na yun lang talagang sakop mo. May data engineering kayo, may data governance kayo, may data security kayo, may data analytics kayo, data science, mga ganon. So, depende talaga sa laki ng company, sa budget, na ganon, sa scope ng project, sa syempre sa timeline ng project. So, normally after yung actual wireframe yon, na yon? Pwedeng data governance, set up ng mga data requests, tapos send na sa data engineering. Ito yung mga kailangan naming data columns. Kung yung platform ninyo, whether SQL Server yan or Excel na nasa SharePoint, yon, kung anong mga data types na kailangan, i-declare nyo na rin. Tapos, after magawa ng data engineering, which normally takes a while, kasi sila yung mga naghahatak ng mga nagtatransform ng data from multiple sources. Pwedeng kuha sa API, pwedeng kuha sa ganitong source, combine, diba? Tapos, your data sets are ready. Pwedeng isang table lang yan, pwedeng 20 tables yan na ikaw yung mag-star schema sa loob ng Power BI. So, once you have the data, doon na mag-i-start yung actual Power BI build na, syempre. Doon na papasok rin yung challenges na meron ka palang mga pinramis na features, calculations na ang hirap pala. So doon mo marirealize na hindi pala ganun kadalito. Or doon rin papasok minsan na habang binibuild yon, since uso ngayon yung agile, di ba? Agile project management. So a lot of check-ins. Minsan nagkakaroon ng certain changes. You pivot features in the project. That happens and that's perfectly fine. So, and then, Once nagawa mo yung first draft ng actual Power BI report mo or actual Excel or Tableau report mo, doon napapasok yung mga UAT. Usually, yung UAT yun, medyo common rin yun. Doon rin papasok yung mga pasok tayo kay Power BI. Doon rin papasok yung mga deployment pipelines, 'di ba? May mga and fun fact, sa Power BI October release, meron na tayong up from 2 up to 10 deployment pipelines. Dati tatlo lang. Tatlo lang naman kasi yung standard sa software engineering eh. You have your development phase, you have your test phase, and you have your production phase or stage, kumbaga. So, yun yung default dati. Ngayon, medyo pwede ka nang maging mas, kung gusto mong 8 yung stages mo, go ahead. Why not? So, ayun. Yung UAT usually nasa test stage yun. Tapos, once okay lahat, UAT normally runs like 1 week to 2 weeks. Yun nga, depende rin sa client. After that, productionalization. So, ila-launch nyo na, send na sa lahat. Tapos again, depende doon. May mga certain clients kayo na once na i-productionalize, bitaw. May mga clients na pagka-send out or pagka-launch ng report, send ng data dictionary, send ng documentation regarding the project bago bitaw. Meron rin namang clients na pagka-launch, meron pa kayong continuous tight support with them, as in, kumbaga meron pang phase 2 na nakaabang na kasi they really like the work that you did, or kumbaga medyo rush siguro, konti lang yung features muna sa phase 1, they just need it out there, and then may phase 2. So kumbaga, marami, sobrang daming, is extremely agile, it's extremely flexible, kumbaga. And if anything, sa tinagal ko sa trabahong to, ang siguro pinaka-tip ko is to communicate. Never, kumbaga, underestimate the power of communication. Never simply rely on your templates. Never rely on your business requirements document na ito yung mga kailangan ko. Or, kumbaga, it's very important. Biblia mo yan. Pero iba pa rin yung iba pa rin yung constantly alam ni kliyente yung ginagawa mo, ano yung challenges, ano yung baka may suggestion ka, not only with how it looks, not only with the layout, pero baka may suggestion ka na, what if itong metric na to, ilagay natin sa ganito, mga ganon. Or i-present natin na naka-breakdown ng ganitong category, mga ganon. They usually appreciate that. So, supposedly, mag-open ako ng workspace, pero mamaya na siguro. Naisip ko, wala rin akong deployment pipeline na pwedeng i-present publicly. Naka-double sign yan ako. I'm so sorry, ang dami palang nag-chat. Okay, so, pero yun na yung pretty much side ko. Let's go through the user chats and user comments. Unahin na natin yung mga unahin natin syempre priority yung mga nasa Teams, guys. Sorry. So, prior natin yung kung may nag-chat. Ay, meron naman. Okay. Pero maraming nag-chat sa Facebook. Thank you very much. Pero sa Teams, gosh, ang layo. Ayan. Hang screen yung webcam niya. Okay. Ayun. Thank you, Gemar. Napansin ko huli na. Pero, naghang nga ulit. Tama ka. Or naghang siya sa Teams. Pero check ko. Hindi siya naghang sa FB Live. Sorry. So, bahala na. Hinayaan ko na yung sa Teams. Patayin ko nga yung camera. Buksan ko ulit. Oo nga, naghang yung sa Teams natin. Teka. May gagawin ako sa Stop virtual camera? Start virtual camera. Oo nga. Wala na. Ayoko na kay Teams. Okay. Thank you, Joshua, for testing. Yun, si Mockup and si Gemmer, tinesting rin pala. Mukhang down talaga yung mockup.ai website. So, punta naman tayo sa FB. Since may mga nag-chat doon na hindi ko na napansin. Dahil nagkakandara pa ako sa webcam ko. Good morning, Jason. Salamat, Brian. So, si Kenneth. Teka, tama ba yung sequence? Tama yung sequence ko. Okay, pababa. Napansin ko lang po pag more DAX code po yung Power BI, sobrang bigat. Mas okay po ba sa mismong dataset na ayusin para mas simplify yung dashboard drag and drop Syempre drug, no? Pero yes, merong ano yun eh, may concept yun eh na I forgot yung term. Pero there's an actual term for that. Nakakainis kasi ang weird kasi nung English na ginamit dun eh. Principle of data use of data the higher the better. Tingnan lang natin, baka may makita ako. Wala akong makita. Ayun! Ang galing. Ang galing ni Google. Roche's maxim of data transformation. Ikakopy ko to, guys. Kasi malilimutan ko ulit eh. Again, say it with me, Roche's maxim of data transformation. So what is Roche's maxim of data transformation? It simply tells you that if you're going to be doing some transformations, you do it as early in your stage as possible. So kunwari nga, balik tayo sa medyo simpleng example. You have an Excel SharePoint, you have an Excel data set, Excel spreadsheet in SharePoint. Tapos you have Power Query, syempre doon mo siya pinapasok. And then you have Power BI, syempre, after the Power Query. So, ang gagawin mo, kung kaya mong gawin yung transformation doon pa lang sa Excel na nasa SharePoint, gawin mo na. Then, kung hindi kaya doon, nasa Power Query ka na. Kung kaya mong gawin yung transformation na gusto mong gawin sa Power Query pa lang, gawin mo na. Tapos, moving on, syempre, wala nang choice, nasa Power BI ka na. So, you essentially do any transformation, any joins, appends, mga ganon, as early as you can para as you go nearer kasi dun sa Power BI, dun sa front-end report, mas affected na yung end user. Unlike, kumbaga, kung sa Excel SharePoint mo siya ginawa, usually pa, lalo na pag SQL Server yung mga example natin ng, kumbaga, naka-relational dataset kayo, naka-SQL Server, you also have that benefit na baka mas malakas yung PC, yung compute power na gamit ng SQL Server nyo. So, yung mga transformations na ganyan na 1 hour gagawin ng Power Query, baka half hour lang gagawin ng SQL Server or even less. Mga ganon. So, kumbaga, kasama na yun sa mga advantages ng transforming your data as early as possible. O nga, no, paste ko tong mga to. And actually, hindi ko pala na-paste kanina yung isang website sa chat. I'm going to be pasting in Facebook chat na lang yung mga sites. So, si mockup.ai na-paste ko, sadly down. Si Penpot, ay Power BI pala to. Si Penpot, i-paste din natin si Penpot. Ayan. Hindi ko lang alam. Ito ba yun? Design dot. Penpot app lang yata sila eh. Pero sige, paste ko na yung buong design. Ayan. So yun, Roche's maxim of data transformation. Keep that in mind. Siya yung kumbaga, pag may nagtanong sa'yo, di ba, tunog matalino na next time na may magtanong sa inyo, mas junior sa inyo na, saan ko po ba gagawin yung transformation sa SQL po ba o sa Power Query na lang? Pwede nyo isingit according kay Roche's maxim of data transformation, ganito eh. Yes. So, thanks for the question. And good morning, Sir JP. And good morning rin, Arman. Good morning, Aldrin. Ay, dalawa ba kayong Aldrin? Ay, magkaibang Aldrin. Good morning, Aldrins. And salamat, for all the silent readers out there. Salamat. Good morning, Christopher. Naka-down din sa side ko yung mock-up. Okay. Ayan, thanks, RJ. Unreachable. Thanks, Aldrin, sa pag-check. Yan, mukhang kung down yung mock-up, mas down na sila ngayon kasi inatake pa natin. Pwede mo i-customize ang color sa mock-up, sir? Yun. Good question, Arman. Pwede mong i-customize if magbabayad ka. Freemium kasi si mock-up eh. So, may mga, yun nga, sadly hindi natin matry eh. So, si mock-up, yun nga, di ba, pinakita ko is shades of blue. If you are a paid subscriber, you can change the colors. Meron ring certain templates na for premium members only. So, may mga ganun din siya. Ang alam ko So, medyo, although, still, as a free user, marami kang available na reports pa rin. Yung mga pini-premium nila is yung mga mas, I'd say, mas medyo mas specific na industry na. Kumbaga yung mga medyo common na industries, naka-free lang naman. Again, hopefully, if they go back up again. Thank you, Brian, sa pag-check. May question si Brian. Question po, pag ita-translate na yung wireframe sa actual implementation, kailangan ba same exactly, maliban sa color, madali magaya, yung mga elements? Okay. Good question yan. So, ano yan eh, kumbaga, it comes with the experience. Malalaman mo kung ano yung mga parts and pieces na confident kang, kaya ko to. Kumbaga, mukhang may mga drill to drill through, may mga maps, ganyan, pero alam ko lahat to kayang gawin ni Power BI. So, ang nakakatakot usually is if meron kang client na very imaginative. Nakakatakot pero challenging, di ba? And exciting kasi it pushes you to your limits. And minsan ganun talaga eh. Minsan may mga may isip, hindi lang naman si client. Minsan may isip ka na feature na maganda sana pag ganito yung itsura ng visual na to. Maganda sana if nandito yung data label na to na for some reason hindi mo malagyan ng data label. Maganda sana if ganito yung sort na to. And that's how you grow as a BI developer. Kumbaga, knowing ano yung limits ng tool and knowing if there are workarounds or knowing if you need to rely on something extra. Do you need to rely on Charticulator, a custom visual? Do you need to rely on R, Python? Do you need to rely on Deneb, yung mga mas complicated na custom visuals? So, makikita nyo yung difference ng all stack lang eh sa may mga custom visuals na. Ang downside lang ng mga custom visuals with Power BI is they tend to be less stable. Meron ring mga limitations yung custom visuals na pag mahilig mag-export to PDF yung client nyo, maraming custom visuals ang hindi supported yon. So, wala silang may export. So, kumbaga, best practice pa rin naman is to stay within the stock realm of Power BI. Pero, if the request calls for it, kumbaga, and you have the ability to do it, iba pa rin yung, kumbaga, pasiklab mo na may mga custom visuals. And yun nga, kumbaga, so, I guess, I hope that answered your question, Brian. Pero, kumbaga, heavily dependent and dun papasok ulit yung communication na hindi talaga kaya to. Kumbaga, what if we just show this instead? Mga ganon. So, and ano naman yan, during wireframing, you can add those disclaimers na this is the goal. Pero just in case we can't do this in Power BI, we're not sure, we'll need to research, investigate about it. If hindi pala kaya, then we have this as a backup solution. Can we just show a bar chart? Ganito na lang. So kumbaga that's worst case, that's what you'll get. But if we can find a way to implement this bar chart with donuts floating on it, then we'll try mga ganun. Meron pala alternative sa Figma. Yeah. So Neil, yun. Kung Figma user ka, feel free to share kung ano yung experience mo. Kasi yun nga, hindi ko na siya tinry. Hindi, tinry ko siya pala. Pero yun nga, nung nakita kong may free alternative, tumalo na kagad ako sa Penpot eh. Hindi na ako nag-try ng Figma. Good morning, Junjun. Good morning. Ay, teka, nawala ako eh. Nag-i-scroll pa ba ako? Brian asks, follow-up kung imaginative po si clients. May additional po ba na free? Na fee. Yung mga ganon, kumaga kung medyo freelancer style, ang ano mo kasi is output, 'di ba? So, you'll need to take into consideration na ito, medyo hindi pa to scope ng skill ko. So, I'll need to invest in training, or I'll need, possibly training, possibly I'll need to invest time, bandwidth in researching this. So, pwede mong dagdagan yung, kumbaga parang may research fee ka. Tapos kung ano naman, alam mong kaya mo gawin yan, pero alam mong kaya mo lang gawin yan dahil pinaghirapan mong aralan yan sa previous na project mo, and not that many people know how to implement that. Ikaw lang kasi yun nga, again, you've spent the time, the effort. Kunwari, marunong ka mag-Deneb, which is, hindi ganun karami ang kaya mag-Deneb as of now. Even Charticulator, hindi ganun karami, although medyo marami, pero still, not everyone. So, kung may mga ganun kang medyo unique na skills, kasama pa rin sa fee yun. Although, kaya kong gumawa ng Charticulator chart, kunwari, sobrang mabilis lang kasi gamay na gamay ko na. kaya kong gumawa ng DNF chart kasi may mga nakaabang na akong templates from my previous projects, you can still charge them a bit. Hindi yung kumbaga kaya kong gawin to in 1 hour kasi may DNF ano na ako may mga DNF templates ako eh. Pero ang totoo, sa ibang tao, baka 1 week nila gagawin yan. So, you can still build them for a few days. Mas mura ka pa rin sa ibang tao. Mas efficient ka pa rin. Pero kumbaga, they need to pay that premium. Kumbaga, parang ano lang to eh. Parang ito yung, kumbaga, mga nag-freelance ng painting or artist, di ba? So, kumbaga, oo, kaya nilang gawin yung magandang drawing na yan. Pero, it took them years to get to that point. So, don't short sell yourself dahil lang magaling na kayo at kaya niyong gawin ng mabilis, di ba? And, ayan, naubos ko na pala. Yep. So, any other questions or anyone else that would like to share? Ito na naman tayo. So, super shy pa rin ba lahat? I'll check the chat then. Okay. So, yeah. So, anyone has any questions from the Teams Meet? Or does anyone have any questions from FB chat? Do tell. Going once, going twice. Ay. Okay. So wala. Okay. Hintay tayo ng sandali pa. Mga 5 seconds. Dahil merong is typing. Okay. Anyway, while waiting for that, since may 10 minutes na lang din naman tayo, let's discuss yung mga changes sa Power BI October update. Although yun nga 10 minutes na lang, so baka hindi na rin tayo masyado discuss. Kasi medyo meaty yung October update natin ng Power BI, October 2023, Power BI. Feature summary. Pa-share naman po ng best practice nyo sa relationship nyo sa fact table at filters. Okay. Hi, Bernal. Best practice sa relationship, fact table, filters, and I guess ito yung mga lookup table, yung mga star schema. What I learned lang so far, kasi may mga times na mabigat yung table na ginagawa mo, ang daming mga kumbaga one pinaka important for me is when you're starting out with connecting to your data source, sa umpisa pa lang, tanggalin nyo na yung mga columns na hindi nyo dapat kakailanganin. Kasi it will grow eh. Lalo na kung, usually naman, in the actual work, actual corporate world, hindi na yung mga data sets ninyo kasi yun yung isang napapansin ko eh, difference between someone who's a new data analyst or BI developer versus someone who's a bit more experienced is yung experienced na BI developer, umpisa pa lang, naglilinis na yan ng mga columns na kailangan lang niya, tinatanggal na niya yung mga hindi niya kailangan, ultimo rows, kunwari, ang kailangan lang niya is this year's worth of data, kunwari, ang call type is meron siyang inbound, outbound, email, text. Ang kailangan ko lang naman is calls lang for this report. Sa umpisa pa lang, finifilter na niya sa either sa SQL pa lang, sa SQL pool niya pa lang, or sa Power Query pa lang, finifilter na niya. Always limit na agad. Huwag nyo munang isipin yung baka kailanganin ko to eh, dalhin ko kaya. Dapat sa umpisa pa lang meron na kayong certain direction. Tapos kung hindi nyo kailangan. Alisin nyo na. Tsaka nyo na isipin na I'll bring that in later. Tsaka nyo na isipin na later, you can always bring it in. Hindi kayo dapat nagda-drop naman ng delete eh. Ang drop nyo is either inaalis nyo lang siya sa view ng SQL or inaalis nyo lang sa Power Query mismo, di ba yung remove ng Power Query which doesn't really remove it from your actual data set. So, kumbaga, doon kayo mag-swim around. Tapos, once kasi, yun yung beginning eh. Once medyo lean yung mga table ninyo, walang masyadong taba, at yung meat talaga yung nandoon, mas madali kayong makakapag-navigate. Mas madali nyong malalaman na ito, pwede kong hiwalayin into a separate lookup table kasi I'll use this for a slicer. And meron akong gustong certain sort, meron akong gustong certain naming convention na pag mahaba masyado ang table ni Power BI, hindi ko siya malalagay doon. marami akong mga tables, so kailangan ko ng date table, yung mga ganon. So, maraming, kumbaga, as far as relationship, it will be more organic. Mas mararamdaman nyo yung kailangan nyo once payat na yung mga table. Once nandoon lang yung mga actual na bits and pieces na kailangan sa report. Do we need to invest in learning Power BI service? Ayun. So, iba na pala. Sorry. So, pero yun. So, I'm not sure, Bernal, if meron ka pang ibang gustong malaman. Pero kasi yun yung parang pinaka-best practice na naisip ko talaga. Clean it up. The rest kasi, parang nahihirapan ako to come up with a best practice kasi parang more of logic na yung kailangan mo. So, comes with experience rin naman. Hindi naman lahat pinanganak na logical thinker. Pero it can be learned. So, through experience, you'll know. Meron rin kayo magiging styles na usually ganito yung diagram ko. Usually ganito ako add ng date table. Yung mga ganon. So, yun. Hope na answer ko, Bernal, yung question mo. And Jay asks, do we need to invest in learning Power BI service? Oo. For me, kasi ang direction rin ng Power BI ngayon in general is adding in a lot of features. Etong October lang, meron silang dinagdag yung editing your data ba? Darn it, nasaan yun? Modeling yun. Ayun, modeling nga. So, dati kasi extremely limited ang Power BI service eh. Almost everything that you need to do, you really need to do it on desktop. Ngayon, hindi na. And syempre, meron akong mga datasets na tipong half hour, 1 hour siya nire-refresh. Ayoko nang kunin pa sa desktop yon, i-edit ko pa sa desktop, ipapublish ko pa. Aabutin ako ng parang 1.5 hours, 2 hours para lang magawa yung, kunwari may edit lang na simple na gusto lang nila magtanggal ng column sa matrix visual. Gusto lang nila magdagdag ng isa pang layer sa decomposition tree, mga ganon. So, gusto ko yung mga ganon sa service na. Tapos, sinesave ko na lang para there's virtually no downtime. As in, papasok ka sa edit mode ng Power BI service. Tapos, sa edit mode ng Power BI service mo, pwede ka nang magtanggal, dagdag. Ang hindi mo lang magagawa doon sa ngayon, ang alam ko, mag-create ng measures eh. Pero kumbaga, magtanggal, dagdag ng components, at saka format pala. Medyo wala kang magagawa sa format masyado. Formatting ng measures, kunwari. So, pero there's a lot that you can do, and especially if naka data mart ka, mga ganon, mga service-supported features. Ayan, tulad nito, meron na siyang managed relationships. So, pwede mo nang galawin yung model. Ito yung model view sa desktop eh. So, pwede mo nang galawin. Hindi ko pa natatry ito eh. Pero, yon, kumbaga, almost every month, may dinadagdag silang feature. Kasi, pinapalakas rin nila yung Power BI service because walang Power BI desktop sa Mac eh. So, 'di ba? So, yung mga Mac OS users, nagve-virtual machine pa sila para makapag Power BI desktop. So, they are going in a way, they're going into the direction of kumbaga making the web presence stronger para kung may mga edits rin ganun in the future. Parang ginagawa lang ng Facebook, 'di ba? Ang main priority ng Facebook actually is yung Facebook mobile web eh. Kasi yun yung pangmasa na lahat may ganon. Pwedeng may Android app yung isang tao, pwedeng naka iOS app yung isang tao, pero yung dalawang yan, kayang pumunta sa web, yung dalawang yan, certainly at certain times, pag may nag-kinlik silang links, minsan sa web sila na dadala. So, yung web yung pinaka-priority pagandahin these days in general for most companies. Kasi yun yung mas pantay-pantay. Or kumaga, mas common in a way. So, highlight ko lang, since yun nga, wala na rin tayong oras. Sa October 2023, I did post about this. Pero, if hindi kayo familiar sa calculation groups, take a look at calculation groups. Siyempre, nawala na naman ako. Nasaan yun? Binanggit yun eh. Ayun, ito yun. Model Explorer Public Preview with calculation group authoring. So, to those who don't know, ang calculation group kasi, para siyang templated DAX measure. So, kunwari, meron akong DAX measure na meron akong kunwari call center scenario ulit meron akong handle time. Tapos, yung handle time na yon Meron akong naka-load siya sa calculate, naka-load siya sa quarter to date. Tapos meron akong handle time ulit na naka-load sa month to date. Meron ulit akong handle time na naka-load sa year to date. So year to date, quarter to date, month to date, tatlong measure. What if ang dami kong KPIs, hindi lang handle time. Meron pa akong service level, meron pa akong CSAT, meron pa akong absenteeism, may utilization, may percent productivity. So kumbaga, 6 times 3, 18 na mga DAX measures yung gagawin ko. With calculation groups, all you need is the original 3 DAX measures. Yung quarter to date, month to date, year to date. Tapos, pwede na, yung calculation group mo is parang template siya. Pwede mong lagyan ng, depende sa visual, kung saan mo siya binato, kukunin niya yung main measure ng visual na yon, tapos ipapasok niya, i-inject niya dun sa shell na yon. So, pwedeng, kung ang visual na to is AHT yung laman, hinagisan mo ng calculation group for year to date, magiging year to date ng AHT. So, I hope I described it right, or I hope na appreciate nyo to those who aren't familiar. Pero yon, search around for calculation groups. Ang common na makikita nyo sa pag nag-research kayo about it are people doing calculation groups via tabular editor. Kasi dati hindi to posible sa Power BI desktop eh. Kailangan nyo pa ng external tool eh. So ngayon posible na. Super useful. That. And yan. That, I'll go through chats quick one last time. Just to see if I missed anything. Pero yun lang naman yung parang pinakagusto ko rin i-highlight. We are at the top of the hour. So, salamat. And, teka, asan na nga ba yung chat? Ito pala. Andito pala. Last question tayo. Sige. From Brian, Sir, between po Power BI at Tableau, kailangan po ba aralin yung Tableau if alam mo na mag-Power BI? Nako, depende. Ano yung gamit ng client mo? Or are you talking about kung wala ka pang specific na company? Ganun ba tayo? Kasi they are kind of different. Yung mga measures or yung mga syntaxes na maaral mo sa Power BI, hindi mo ma-apply sa Tableau and vice versa. Ang pinaka ma-apply mo is yung logic. Pwede na yung LOD calculations ng Tableau, yun yung calculate function ng Power BI. May mga ganun lang sila na, yung ito pala yun. So, kumbaga parang ano lang to, parang kumbaga sa Photoshop ka na sanay, pinasukan mong kumpanya, wala palang Photoshop, GIMP pala yung gamit nila. So, kumbaga, aralin mo yung mga kaibahan, pero kumbaga may parallelism sila. So, that said, just study what you're most comfortable with. If mas comfortable ka with Tableau, feeling mo mas enjoy ka sa logic ng Tableau, go with Tableau. If feeling mo mas enjoy ka sa Power BI, go with Power BI. Pero study something. Kailangan meron kang isa. Honestly, if tatanungin niyo ako and wala ka pa namang specific work ngayon, tapos kumbaga building data sets, building dashboards ka lang for fun, for your portfolio, ang pinaka mare-recommend ko actually is Excel pa rin kasi siya yung may coming from a Power BI Pilipinas founder pero kasi siya yung kumbaga the most flexible talaga as far as tools are concerned. Kumbaga DA tool na siya, may mga statistical tool ka within Excel, may mga automation tool ka within Excel, may mga charts visuals ka rin naman within Excel. Pero if you are that type of person na really enjoyed the visual side, the data visualization side. If you really enjoyed creating yung mga layout ng reports na mukha ng website, mga ganon, between Power BI and Tableau, I would recommend Power BI. And baka may bias. Pero reason is, kasi si Tableau, may bayad yung mismong mas mahal siya even for corporations, for enterprises, and may bayad yung mismong for you to start using it without limits, kumbaga. Unlike Power BI, pwede kang gumawa ng mga dashboard mo 1 week after you installed it, 30 days, 90 days, wala na. Kumbaga, pwede mong tuloy-tuloyin, gawa ka lang ng gawa. As long as ang limitation ng Power BI is more of publishing and sharing. Ang masishare mo lang is PBIX. So that said, for me, and kumaga as far as resources naman, mas marami pa rin si Tableau ang alam ko ng konti. Pero Power BI is catching up real quick na nasa point na tayo na halos hindi mo naramdam yung kakulangan ng Power BI as far as resources kasi lumaki na rin yung community. When this all started like 3 years ago kasi, ramdam mo talaga na wala ka masyadong makitang magagandang Power BI dashboards, puro basic. Tapos pag tumingin ka sa Tableau, as in wow. As in website yung datingan ng mga, as in infographic style, yung mga Tableau, ganon. Ganon. Sila naman yung nag-start talaga ng mga reports na hindi mukhang reports. Reports na mukhang pwede mong i-print at gawing poster at i-display sa kwarto mo. Ganon yung mga itsura ng mga Tableau reports. Dati pa, sila yung nauna. Pero yun, Power BI has been catching up real quick. Mainly because yun nga, maraming nag-a-adapt kasi yung mga enterprises, corporations, companies na nasa Microsoft ecosystem, napakadali na i-adapt si Power BI. And Microsoft has been investing on Power BI, kaya yung mga features kanon, tinatry nilang habulin rin naman si Tableau. So, it's on a very good spot, to be honest. Pero yun nga, it's not like pag nag-Tableau ka, talo ka, or nag-Power BI ka, hindi, sana nag-Tableau ka na lang. Wala namang ganun. Medyo tsambahan rin kasi as far as sino yung company na mag-hire sa'yo, di ba? If nagpaka-expert ka sa Power BI, Tableau yung gamit pala ng mapupusuan mong company, then medyo aral ka ulit. Maghahabol ka ulit nun. So, medyo similar. Ano po masabi nyo sa Google Sheets po? Google Sheets is Excel kasi, spreadsheets eh. Maybe Google Looker, di ba? Looker yung mas nila, mas lumalaban sa Power BI, sa Tableau. Yun yung database side ng Google. Si Google Sheets kasi, ang strength niya is libre siya eh. So, may mga, even if mga may mga, nasa call center side ako 20 years of my life. So, mayayamang mga client, mayayaman usually naman yung mga clients kasi they're outsourcing to a big company eh. Kumbaga, malalaking call centers rin yung pinagtatrabahuan ko dati. Pero, there will be some clients na walang pambayad ng Microsoft licenses for Office. And, they'll have people use Google Sheets lang. So, nangyayari yun. If, kumbaga, wala kang... Actually, ang Excel kasi ngayon, as long as you have an internet connection, di ba? Sobrang accessible na rin. So, yun nga lang yun. You need to have a unlimited bandwidth for it. Pero kasi, ang Microsoft Office Suite, if you're willing to use it online, wala ka ng problema. Pwede mong tuloy-tuloy gamitin. If, however, may bandwidth cap ka and kailangan mo mag-Google Sheets talaga, it's still a nice, it's still, kumbaga, if kaya mo maging expert sa Google Sheets, sobrang lapit mo na sa Excel. Hindi naman sobra pala. Actually, marami talagang features si Excel kasi. Pero kumbaga, malapit ka na sa Excel. And sina Google Sheets, sina OpenOffice, LibreOffice, they are made to be extremely similar to Excel eh. Kahit sa syntax, ang alam ko parehas yung syntax nila eh. Although I haven't used Libre and OpenOffice at this stage of my life na medyo mas maalam ako sa formula. Nagamit ko lang sila dati, college yata, nung wala rin naman akong alam kundi mag-click ng cell at mag-enter ng number, mag-encode. So, hindi ko lang alam kumbaga as far as formulas, as far as features, pero kumbaga if that is the resources that you have to look at Google Sheets, ganun, or OpenOffice lang ang kaya mo, still, that will help you grow, I would say. Kasi yun nga, Excel yung parang pinaka standard pa rin eh. So, and OpenOffice, LibreOffice, Google Sheets, they're trying to mimic that standard. So, okay pa rin. Tuloy mo pa rin yun. And yun, better than doing nothing, to be honest, diba? Better than magpa-scam ka kung ano man yung pasukin mo online these days. Ayan, sabi pala ni... okay. So, hindi ko alam yung app script. So, thank you. Yun. So, Google Sheets, if yun yung mga available resources nyo pala, Google Sheets lang, then Google Sheets and app script. Try it out daw. Recommended by Jason. Salamat. So, ayun lang po. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who joined Daksdakan episode 3. Sorry, balik tayo sa Canva. Hindi ito yan. Nasaan na yung Canva screen ko. Ayan, balik tayo dito. So thank you very much everyone who joined. As I've said, Well, happy creating mga Power BI wrists. And as I've said, maraming beses nyo makikita tong tap link QR code na to. So feel free to scan. Feel free to, again, join us in our multitude of social media channels. TikTok lang actually yung medyo naiiwan ko. I'm so sorry. Pero if you're active on TikTok, follow ka lang. And lalagyan ko rin ng content yan, promise. One of these days. Pero yun, sa ngayon medyo mas kumakain kasi ng oras yung mga extracurriculars and medyo busy rin sa work. So medyo daksdakan lang yung napagtutuunan ko ng pansin. That said, before you go, I would really, really appreciate if you could answer our survey. So, musta ang Daksdakan episode 3? Medyo mas unstructured tayo ngayon. Is that better for you? Is that worse? Feeling mo ba you'd rather have speakers be invited? Feeling mo ba you should be invited kasi may gusto kang i-share? Feeling mo ba, kumbaga, gusto mo ba ng time na, kumbaga, meron kang tanong session and, kumbaga, willing ka namang i-broadcast natin yung tanong mo? So, yun. Feel free. Any topics, any feedback actually is greatly appreciated. May clean lang yung survey. 2 minutes lang yan. Tapos nyo na kasi Shopee style yan. Isang tanong, 1 to 5, and isang open type na entry box. So again, thank you very much. And actually, pag natapos nyo yung survey, again, lalabas na naman yung tap link ko. So as I've said, kukulitin ko kayo na please follow. And yun nga, Microsoft platform and LinkedIn page yung medyo nangangailangan ng tulong. So again, thank you very much for everyone who joined. It was a treat talking to you kahit dito lang ako, kahit ako lang yung nagsasalita pero lahat kayo via messages para akong radio station nung sinaunang panahon na nagbabasa sa beeper sa pager ko, naabutan niyo yun. Pero yun, thank you very much for everyone. Have a happy Saturday ahead and usap ulit tayo. Daksdakan episode 4. Bye guys!